What up? It's Jack, aka Just a Cunt here, and just starting off, before I do anything, I just want to do one thing. I want to give a round of applause for Dana White. I mean, come on. How are we so lucky to have such a great boss for the UFC? Do you know what's happening this weekend? Is your calendar booked? Are you prepared? We got Tallison Teixeira versus Derrick Lewis. I mean, come on, and you know what's happened the week after that? Okay, main event: Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. Last fight, Louisiana. You know who's the co-main event? Pull up Google right now, look it up. We got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. And I know he's thinking, no, they're gonna rearrange. You're gonna be like, okay. It's gonna be Paulo Costa, Roman Copy. Oh no, they're gonna update it saying, let me check real quick. Oh, my bad. Robert Valentine versus Atabe Gatir. That motherfucker does not exist. God, we are eating so good. Now, if I'm being serious, why is this card trying to gaslight me into liking it? We've been giving such horrible cards day after day that I'm looking at this card and being like, wait a minute. They got Chris Curtis on this card? Oh shit, this shit's low-key a banger. There's Jake Matthews? Oh my God. Wait. They got former title contender Lauren Murphy? Oh my God. In all seriousness, this card isn't horrible. The main event is, though. Now, if they were to, maybe take away a fight or two from UFC Saudi Arabia or whatever the fuck it is, where they have Peter Yan and Bryce Mitchell kicking off the main fucking card for some reason. Maybe if you took one of them, maybe if you put Peter Yan there, because I don't know why the fuck he's doing in the Middle East, alright? That motherfucker's more Chinese than he is fucking related to the fucking Arabs, okay? Why the fuck is he there? Derrick Lewis, Tallison Teixeira. Why? This is just filler. I would rather just, honest to God, tell me if I'm wrong. I want you guys to tell me. Would you guys rather just skip this week, go to the beach, fucking get a life, do something else, and we just spread out these, because some of these fights aren't horrible. Stephen Thompson, Gabriel Bonfire. I don't like this matchmaking, but it's an interesting card. It's an interesting fight. Is Gabriel probably going to take him down, choke him out? Probably. It's not what I would want to see. I want Stephen Thompson to only fight strikers, fun strikers. That's personally what I'd like to see. I'd even rather fight like a Michael Morales or something. Just because there might be a little bit more stand-up, but interesting, whatever. Calvin Kattar, somehow he's fallen off from being Max Holloway's victim. He somehow has dropped a tier below that to where now he's just Apex prelim filler. Nate Landwehr is a blast. Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. It's on the main card. Max Grissom, there's some shit here that a hardcore fan is gonna watch, look at the card and be like, go, wait. Chris Curtis was a ranked middleweight, and he had a competitive fight with Roman Kopylov, and it was an early stoppage, and he actually did really good he actually knocked out Joaquin Buckley. Alright. Kennedy Nzechukwu continuing his fucking dominance versus his heavyweight title run, gonna face Tom Aspinall, because after Cyril gone and Jailton Almeida, he's gonna be the next in fucking line. That's how shit that division is. Overall, this card is ass, and I'm not gonna act like it isn't just because there's some names I recognize. It's not all complete nobodies. The whole card isn't Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. Now don't fucking comment at me. You don't know Mitch? You don't know Big Mitch? You don't know Mitch, make him your bitch? Ramirez, you don't know who this is? The 32-year-old prospect? No, I don't know, and I don't give a fuck, and I'm gonna watch his fight. I'm gonna waste my Saturday watching that fight, and then completely forget he fucking exists so he can be in a random ass Apex card. This shit is ass. We know it's ass. UFC 318's ass. Whitaker versus the Raider is just fucking based as fuck for no reason. I know why. We all know why. We know why. Oil money. Dana White. At the end of the day, they could just throw as much money as they want at him. Now, I'm gonna be idealistic and assume that a lot of these fights that I want to happen, a lot of these contender fights, they're keeping till the end of the year, new deal, some shit. I don't know. Don't even know it's the UFC anymore. Seems like they just don't like fun. They don't like anything. Anytime any promo happens, Dana White's throwing a fucking fit in the back. Overall, man, just ass. Albazi versus Tyra. Co-main event. Carl Rosa versus Nora Cornoye. Yeah, alright. But I got Azamat Bekoyev versus Torres Finney. I'll take it. God, just ass after ass. 319. It's still ass. Just because MVP's on the fucking card does not justify that shit. Ass. All ass. I'm looking at repeat packs of ass. Holy shit. Anyway, before I blow a head gasket, let's get into this card. Starting from top to bottom, starting from the early prelims, starting off with Fatima Kline versus Melissa Martinez. Now, this fight is actually somewhat interesting. They're both young. They both are, specifically Fatima is pretty big for the division, 5'5", 67-inch reach. Interesting, not the longest arm, but overall, young. Melissa, 27, both young. Can be interesting. At the end of the day, I'm going to go with Fatima, the younger fighter, the bigger fighter. I think she's going to have the edge here, particularly on the feet, striking-wise. I think it'll be normal WMMA, which is literally just worst MMA, just worst, just objectively not as good martial arts. It's going to be kind of ass. 29-28 Fatima. Moving up. Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. I can't be fucking asked. I'm going to go with Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis, coming off a loss, yes, but Mitch Ramirez doesn't have anything that makes him too special. Overall, not someone that I have too much hope into. These fights are going to tank my pick rate. I'm going to be golden all year, but fucking Mitch Ramirez is going to be the fucking guy that just plummets it for no fucking reason. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Coin flip. I'm going with Mitch Ramirez. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Moving on. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Walter Walker. Kind of a sick name. I'm going with Kennedy. I think they are giving him a step up in competition. He's fighting someone that is big, that is young. Still has a significant reach disadvantage, being 6'high, which is 78-inch reach is interesting. I think Kennedy's going to be lighter, going to be faster. Now, Kennedy does have a chin problem. For some reason, he could take big shots sometimes and then get absolutely chinned by Dustin Jacoby other times. But I'm going to trust the light heavyweight skill, lighter man skill. I think it's going to come there. I'm going to say second round TKO. Moving up, Lauren Murphy versus Eduarda Mora. Who the fuck took Lauren Murphy out the retirement home? She got TKO'd by Valentina Cat Paws fucking Puss in Boots. She got TKO'd by Puss in Boots. Give me Eduarda Mora by virtue of not being fucking elderly, by not having fucking dementia. Moving on. Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. This one is actually relatively interesting. Jake Matthews is always one of those guys that have up and down performances. Against Felipe, I forget his full name, but I'm pretty sure it's Felipe, the Portuguese guy that got just fucking knocked out repeatedly over and over again after being kind of hyped up for a little bit, had some good performances. Jake Matthews was kind of the start of his downfall, where he had a really good performance against him, and then ever since he's had up and down, some okay fights, okay wins, fought Philip Rowe, fought a couple guys, always just up and down. He's still young, but it doesn't feel like he's making the overall big steps in his game to make it to the next level. It feels like he plateaus, sometimes having good, sometimes bad, not really implementing too much. Chidi Njokuani, getting older, getting up there, but ahead of a significant reach advantage, does have more experience overall. And while there is a significant age gap, I feel like at welterweight 36 isn't the worst thing in the world. I think this fight's relatively close. I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Matthews, being younger, can have a good performance, can win. Good grappling, just very okay everywhere. Nothing too extraordinary. Moving on. Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Now, I made fun of Chris Curtis. But if that was my guy, tell me that you all don't have one random cheeky vet that you guys just see on a card and you're just like, hell yeah, even though you know no one else is gonna give a fuck about them. Chris Curtis has fun to watch boxing. He has his Philly shell, he is discount Sean Strickland, but tell me he's not weirdly good when people play into his game. I've seen when guys like Jack Hermanson, or when people choose to actually fight smart against him and actually just like use their lengths. He's kind of small, probably can make it. I'm pretty sure this is him dropping down to welterweight, but him being a smaller middleweight. But when people actually play into his game, he has great takedown defense. Only really got taken down by a Mavov, I'm pretty sure. You know, can get out kicks, stuff like that. He's not gonna have to worry about that here. Max Griffin, I don't know how he's still in the UFC. Got TKO'd by Colby Covington. That's all I need to say. He's ass. I've never once watched a Max Griffin performance and been impressed. Never once in my fucking life. He fights like my UFC character when I'm fighting online getting dog walk, where I'm trying to literally just land a jab without getting knocked out. I'm going with Chris Curtis. I think he should have the defense. He's been chinned. He just came off a head kick loss. Even if it was an early stoppage, still. I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I think he's going to be able to outbox, outjab him, get in his face, and just Max Griffin is probably going to try and mix it a takedown. I don't think it's going to work out too well. And yeah, I think he's just going to hop around the outside and be ass. Chris Curtis, I'm going to go 29-28 decision. Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokas. Wow, what a two-pack of ass. Who? I know the Pacific Islanders are cool. I'm a fan. I'm a Tai Tuivasa fan. I was hyped for that title run when this man was literally a couple shots on Cyril Gane after he dropped him for facing John fucking Jones, all right? I was on the train, all right? I was the conductor. I had my little wooden whistle telling everyone to hop aboard, all right? I was there, all right? Everyone loves Mark Hunt. Why the fuck are these mid-ass Samoans still here? He's 6-3. He got leg kick TKO'd by a Derrick Lewis victim. Holy fuck. And Tuco Tokas. What? Who the fuck are you? It's literally overgrown Ariel Helwani. It goes, what the fuck is his name? GSP's coach's brother that fought Jose Aldo and fucking decided just to beat him in the most gay way possible. Why is that an evolution change starting with him from Ariel Helwani to Tuco Tokas? To suck my dick. All right? Ass. Two-pack of ass. Junior Tafa, 28. Should win this. Same reach. About the same size. A little bit smaller reach, a little bit smaller height, but only by an inch. Junior Tafa should win this. I'm glad he's fighting at light heavyweight. I'm going to go with Junior Tafa just by virtue of being younger, just by virtue of having less wear and tear, but it's a whatever fight. Flip him either way. You'll be right. All right. Nate Landwehr's 38. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Now this is a bit of a banger. Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charrier. I want to pick Nate. I really do. I love watching him. He's fun. He's country. I love a good American that's not afraid to be American. Love to see it in that Bryce Mitchell style, you know, pressure coming forward, shit striking, but just got a lot of power, or got a lot of heart, comes forward, can usually wear people, land good strikes at the end, has those big moments. Morgan Charrier, solid. Someone who I've never been too impressed with, who I've never seen as like bad, but he is young, a little bit short of a reach. He's gonna be a little bit smaller here. Nate Landwehr's 37 though. At featherweight, that's, especially the older you get, I feel like your cardio starts to drop off. Even if it necessarily doesn't just fall off, I feel like it just gets harder to train and harder to keep up that level of cardio, where Nate Landwehr, if he's gonna win, he's not gonna out technique you, right? He can't coast, do a decision. He has to be coming forward 24/7, going for takedowns, trying to just out dog you. And I think he's going to struggle with this here. Now, don't get me wrong, Morgan Charrier isn't some world beater. He's 20-11. But I think he is younger. He's going to have some pop. Nate Landwehr's coming off some hard losses, getting dropped, getting knocked out. I think where he's getting to the point where it's kind of like Darren Elkins, where their style is good until they get older and they just get finished back to back to back. I think it's going to be kind of sad. I think I'm going to be rooting for Nate. I hope he does win. But I'm going to go with Morgan Charrier. I'm going to go right a third round TKO. Boom it up. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. What happened to Calvin Kattar, man? This man went from basically beating Joshua Emmett in a robbery, lost in a great fight, to fucking having to rally against Zalal in a random ass Apex card that no one's ever fucking seen. Like, I think everyone kind of is. If you remember him, you know, he even though he lost against Max Holloway, he came back, he had his own Max Holloway-esque performance in his next main event, and just seems solid. You know, great boxing, good pop, solid enough takedown defense. You know, not the most versatile, doesn't really mix it up too much. Implemented some elbows, you know. But it's just, he's on the downcline. Same thing, 37. This card has a lot of fucking unks on it. A lot of old people. Same thing, man. It's just hard for me to pick these older guys that, you know, have the skill and ability to, you know, have a good performance. But it's hard for me to bet on that when they haven't really proven that recently. And, you know, it's just facing younger guys who, while they may not be crazy prospects that they're looking to knock out like the legends, this is still a feather in this cap, you know, for Steve Garcia, who's not super young, 33 though, coming up, 17-5. It's one of those things where, like, you know who Calvin Kattar is. They're going to be more motivated. They're going to want to get that name because that's a name on their record. Look at Zalal, someone who's not a crazy prospect, but someone who's going to look at, well, he beat Calvin Kattar. So I'm going to go with Steve Garcia. I think it's going to be a little anticlimactic. I'm going to say Steve Garcia by decision. God, they can't just stop giving me old fuckers that I want to pick, but just can't justify it. Maybe it's going to be an unction, bro. Maybe it's going to be straight unction. You know, if it was up to me, I'd want Nate Landwehr, Calvin Kattar, Stephen Thompson, you know. I'd want these guys to win, and I hope they do. And if my pick rate drops because of Stephen Thompson, I'm not going to be too mad at it. But what do you want me to do? You want me to not to pick Gabriel Bonfim because he had some shit because he lost once? That what you want me to do? Stephen Thompson's 42. He's 42. Facing someone that is a well-rounded grappler with power. I think Stephen Thompson, though, is aging pretty gracefully. I think he hasn't really looked bad in his last couple of performances against Buckley. He looked good. He got knocked out, but he looked solid before that, and he was beating Buckley better than I expected him to. Kevin Holland dusted him up. Made people, you know, that was Kevin Holland's annual domination loss. Stephen Thompson clocked in that thing and whooped his ass. Made him quit on the stool, you know. I think Thompson can win this. I think that even if you take him 2-3 years ago, back in the 30s, I'd probably be tempted to pick him. But against a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, someone who has slick submission, someone that is very physical, someone that's willing to bully his opponent, I think Thompson has a great chance of winning this. I'm assuming he's the underdog. I'm not too sure he is. There is some money there if you want to put some on him, but I have to go with Gabriel Bonfirm. Just a smarter choice here. I think Thompson can win this, but unfortunately, if I'm going to bet on someone's, starting to fall off, I have to go now. I'm going to go with Gabriel Bonfirm. I'm going to go with a second round submission. I think Stephen Thompson's going to look good when he isn't getting taken down. On the feet, he's going to look good. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Gabriel, but the power, the submission ability, the size, I think it's going to be a problem for Stephen. I'm going to go with Gabriel Bonfirm. Moving on to the last, bro, the main event of the UNCTION, bro. Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. I kind of miss. I remember Derrick Lewis memes back when he was fighting Cyril Gane, where it was like his opponent, better wrestler, better striker, better, faster, younger, this, that. Anyway, Derrick Lewis by first round KO. I don't even know if Derrick Lewis can reach him. Against Volkov, he was able to just wing it, but Tallison Teixeira might even be bigger than Volkov. Yeah, I'm going with Tallison Teixeira. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think he's going to literally did what he did to Justin Tafa, whatever the fuck Tafa it is, and walk over and just fucking KO him. I don't think Tallison is going to have any trouble. I think it's going to be a first round KO. Maybe he's a little patient. Maybe he doesn't want to gas for some reason. He goes, oh no, Derrick Lewis. I think he may try and take him down, maybe try to mix it up a little bit, but I think if he's smart, he'll literally walk across the octagon, hit Derrick Lewis to the body, elbow him in the clinch, put him against the fence, and just bully him there, just KO him. I don't think Derrick Lewis gives a fuck. I think Stephen Thompson can win, but and ignore a lot of his things. I don't think Derrick Lewis. I think Derrick Lewis is going to be hitting the body, want to shit himself on the canvas, and just fucking, that's going to be it. So, Tallison Teixeira, first round TKO. Overall, this card is ass. This card sucks. Some interesting fights on there, but all the interesting ones are literally just people who are older. Chris Curtis older. All these guys are older. Lauren Murphy's fucking literally has to get rolled in on a wheelchair. Just not that good. Also, if you're wondering, I didn't forget Austin Lane versus fucking Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino will probably knock him out. I don't give a fuck, but they're both ass. They both suck. Vitor Petrino, I'm going to go with a second round submission. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all have fun. Have a good one.